Today we're going to learn about the Dewey Decimal Classification System. The Dewey Decimal Classification System is how we shelve non-fiction books. We have learned the recipe for making a non-fiction call number, numbers for the subject, and the first three letters of the author's last name. Now let's learn more about the numbers in a non-fiction call number. How do we know what number goes with each subject? By using something cool called the Dewey Decimal System. The Dewey Decimal System is a tool used to sort non-fiction books into 10 groups or categories. The system was invented by a man named Melville Dewey. He was a librarian who lived long ago. 10 general groups for sorting all of the subjects. General means broad. Lots of subjects will fit into each group. Here are the 10 general groups for sorting books in the Dewey Decimal System. The first group books are sorted into are the 0-100s, called general works. Books that fit in this group have many different subjects in them, like encyclopedias, the Guinness Book of World Records. This is also where books of unexplained subjects would be found, like Bigfoot, aliens. There's also books about computers. The 100s is philosophy. Books that fit in this group tell about how we think and feel. The next group is the 200s, which is religion. Books in this group tell about different religions or stories from the Bible. The next group is the 300s. This is social science. Books in this group tell about how people live together. It also talks about holidays and customs, the government, and military. Fairy tales and folk tales are also placed in the 300s. Many were written to teach a lesson about behavior, and that is social studies, so we place those in the 300s. They don't give us facts and information, but they're written to teach us a lesson about behavior. The 400s is language. Books in this group are about different languages or grammar, like nouns, verbs, and adjectives, or Spanish. The 500s is science and math. Books in this group are about things from nature, like dinosaurs, weather, insects, planets, the solar system, flowers and plants, and animals. The 600s is applied science or technology. This is where you find books about inventions, transportation, cooking, pets, and farming. The 700s is arts and leisure. This is probably the most popular group in the non-fiction section of the Dewey Decimal System. Books in this group are things we do for fun, like sports, dancing, music, art, and fishing and hunting. These are things we like to do. The 800s is literature. Books in this group are stories, plays, or poetry. This is the group fiction books were put in long ago when the Dewey Decimal System was first invented. But now the fiction books are no longer kept in the 800s. They are kept in the fiction section. The 900s is history and geography. Books in this group tell about events of the past and countries of the world. And the 900s are also biographies and autobiographies. They are in the 921s. Don't forget this group. It contains books about famous people's lives. A biography is when an author writes a story about someone else. An autobiography is when someone writes a story about their own life. The call number for a biography or an autobiography is 921, and then the first three letters of the person's last name. Not the author, but the person that the book is about. For example, 921 WAS for George Washington. Today, we have too many fiction books in our libraries to organize them in this way. So fiction books have their own way of being organized. You know, in ABC order by the first three letters of the author's last name. Remember, nonfiction call numbers are placed in number order first, so that means all the books about the same subject end up near each other. Then, if you have 2 or 3 books with the same number, then you would put them in alphabetical order by the first 3 letters of the author's last name. Let's see what you've learned. Call numbers help us find the books we want to read. What is the recipe for a non-fiction call number? Numbers for the subject, and then first 3 letters in the author's last name. Who is responsible for inventing the Dewey Decimal System? Melville Dewey. What system tells us what numbers go with each subject? The Dewey Decimal System. Mr. Dewey matched a number with each subject. How many different sections are the nonfiction books separated into? 10. There are 10 categories that the nonfiction books are separated into.